Good morning, everybody. Keith Engle here for TGI Sports Talk Sunday, stream of consciousness. How we doing? Sorry for the slow transition. Sometimes it's hard to end my sharing of the big football show over on Northeast Stream Sports and get into my live view and make sure that we're live on Facebook and on YouTube and Twitter and every place we need to be. We need a producer for this show is what we need. But I'm now retired. I can't afford one. So anybody wants to volunteer? I'm just kidding. Welcome, guys. I said all the viewers we see everywhere. Welcome to everybody, all the groups that allow us to share. You see our favorites, of course, scrolling across the bottom. John Gonzalez at the Sports Authorities. Greg Rawlings at America's Pastime, the Love for Baseball. Flo and the gang over at Bottom Line Sports. Let's Talk Sports. Tanner D and his gang doing some great stuff. Flo and his team do their podcasting live there, and I've shared their show a few times. I hope to share Flo and Can's podcast when I remember to do it. Who else? Ken Krause over at Golf Bud, Sports of All Sorts. Quick shout out to Ralph Williams at RW Media. Ralph does some great stuff out of Ocean City, Maryland. Pittsburgh Focus National Footprint. Specifically the Sports Corner from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday with Smokin' Jim Frazier guested on that show, and I always enjoy myself. DDH, thumbs up. Mac McGrath, thumbs up. And catch us tomorrow morning. Jack and Keith's weekend playbook. Well, we'll recap all the weekend. A lot of the NFL, a lot of college, probably mostly. A little bit of baseball. We'll get into all of that today. College football. Some interesting games yesterday. Tennessee proves they can't put away anybody any good. Yeah, I think I'll leave that up there. That little plug for Jack and Keith's weekend playbook up there on the logo. Doesn't hurt. Georgia finds a way to win. Great job. LSU statement win over Florida. A&M beats Notre Dame. Coaching, special teams, Rick. Clemson, bad, big disappointment. Arch Manning struggles again. Miami dominates South Florida, who just beat two ranked teams. Vanderbilt dominates South Carolina on the road. Coach Lee and his team playing really well again. Colorado gets plastered. K-State gets beat again by a bad football team. Virginia Tech, again, another coach in trouble. We'll go through some of these scores and games. Giants quarterback situation we can talk about. Eckler out for the season for the Redskins, team formerly known as the Redskins. Dolphins and Hill, what's going on there? And their coach, who opens up a press conference with on Monday after a horrible loss to Indianapolis with, "It's a wonderful day," and they ask why, and he goes, "Because we're one day closer to death." Ay. Booty cut by the 49ers. Oh, I can't read that. A lot of stuff in the NFL we'll talk. Well, we'll go through the standings and the games as well. Baseball, Mets trying hard to lose this wild card. They're only a half a game up on the Giants and a game and a half over the Reds. I guess even the Cardinals, you could say, are still alive. D-backs back from the dead. Yankees playing well, but still 3 games back, solidly in the playoffs now. And both the Mets and Yankees relying on the kid pitchers. Going to be interesting to see how much they rely on them in the playoffs, should the Mets make it. Judge takes over 4th place, all-time in the Yankee home run list. The 9/11 anniversary, well done in Yankee Stadium, I thought. There was another tribute the day before, which if it comes up, we'll get into it a little bit. But don't boo these things, guys. Make one quick comment. Because there'll be a lot of debate about, the way the NFL, the way the NBA, MLB, has handled I'll just say it's a Charlie Kirk situation. I'm not going to get into this too deeply, but if you are a disgusting human being who roots for people to die and claps and cheers at their demise, a 31-year-old man with 2 little children. You're a sick individual. And I'm not blaming, this is not a big, I'm not going to go off on the other side either. Everybody has to stop this crap. The same thing as 9/11, right? We should we see all these comments that we wish we were the people we were on September 12th, 2001. Let's think about that, everybody. And in this situation, apply the same freaking thought. It's a good thing I didn't have a forum the last 4 days, I'll tell you, because I would have been very angry. The vitriol and the nastiness and the disgusting comments I've seen on Facebook. People need to get a life, grow up, or just leave. You don't agree what I say or what somebody else says, then just, there's a scroll button. You don't have to watch what he says. You don't have to go to their events. I don't agree with everything everybody says. Everybody's got a right to say it. I hear a lot of stuff I hate, man. Anyway, let's get off that and get into the comments. I don't want to spend a lot of time. If somebody wants to comment there, fine. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it. But I need to get that off my chest. I've been sucking it in. My wife's had to hear it for 4 days. Good morning, Dave Guyette up in Amsterdam. Good to have you with us. Happy Sunday. Can you have a must-win in week 2 of the NFL? Yeah, probably. JB, good to have you with us, my friend. Miami and McDaniel do. They could be 0-4 before they know it. This team is awful. McDaniel's getting fired, I think, before October's out. You can't open up your press conference with, it's another day closer to death. Woohoo! Danny, good morning, my friend. Happy Sunday. Thank you for doing the show. It's my pleasure, Michael. Good to have you with us. Michael, I believe I've got an article. I got myself a little backtracked. We were away and running around doing stuff. I got home. We were running around doing stuff yesterday. I believe I got an article. I'll get it up for you tonight. I promise. Tomorrow morning at the latest, and because I don't want to back up too far. And we appreciate you, my friend. Good morning to all. Good morning, Danny. That's Drew. Good to have you with us, Drew. Sorry we didn't get the MLB update done on Friday, but I was away, and we'll talk a little bit of that today. Well, guys, we're going to try to get done by 10:45 is my plan, so I don't have to rush right out the door. I got time to maybe use the men's room on the way. I did make myself a travel coffee. Chris Fgrave in Canada. Some excellent track and field yesterday in Tokyo. World Championships. Lots of familiar names from the last Olympics in France. It's funny. There's a lot of sports, Chris, that I follow, and will only follow Olympic years. Track and field is one of them. I enjoy track and field immensely during the Olympics and even the world trials leading up to it, right? Or the trials leading up to determine the team, who will be on the team. But then I kind of get lost from it. There's just too much going on to be able to follow all of that, unfortunately. But good call. And U.S. is good, and because I'm an ugly American. New interview drop. JB's got a new interview dropping with Bob Tewksbury, former Yankee, former Cardinal, Cub, maybe. I don't think he pitched with the Royals, but that's a good one, JB. Check it out, guys. The Back It Up Binge podcast. Bob Tewksbury this week. I'm wearing my UGA / Boston pullover today. I wear it. It's my red for Perth Red Raiders. It's not all red because I like this is a little, I don't know what to say. It's red for the Patriots. Patriots used to wear a lot of red, by the way. The jerseys used to be red. I still wear a lot of red for the Patriots. I won't wear anything that doesn't have red in the colors. The shorts I have on are Patriot shorts with red, white, and blue stripes and whatnot. So, again, it's certainly not for Georgia. I did bet Tennessee yesterday. I get a winner, but what a horrible. Good job, Rick. Good job by your coach. Great coaching. Bad coaching by Josh Heupel in my mind. This team can't close out quality opponents. Can't. Speaking of Rick, good morning. Oh, sure, we'll get an update here. I think I was winning yesterday, as far as I know. I mean, I'm out of the championship hunt in that league. So, and I think in the other league I'm in as well. USC 3-0 back, knocking on the top 20. I know Danny will disparage this. I haven't played anybody really. But 3-0 is 3-0. You can only play the teams put in front of you, he says. And the next time I'll disparage somebody who just beat nobody. But listen, football's better when USC's good. I'm sorry, just it's a true statement. That's showing by Notre Dame last night, speaking of coaching, special teams. Chris says, can't just be me. Does Aaron Judge not look like a giant Mariah Carey in an Army haircut? I haven't really looked at that. I don't know, Chris. I'll wait for other people's opinions, I guess, but I mean, that brings up a whole nother question about Aaron Judge. Is it Mariah Carey on stilts in an Army haircut? She's a hell of a hitter and ball player, she is. I think you mean McDaniel, right? Example of analytics creating jobs for people that should stick to Minecraft for a living. He's gotten weirder and weirder as his career's gone on down there. What's this, his fourth year? Hasn't won a playoff game. Hasn't had a home playoff game. He's had to go to Buffalo in the bad weather. He's had to go to Kansas City in horrible weather. And he's had a chance in those seasons to have home games and hasn't got it done the end of the year. I think there's a lot of dissension in Miami, and I think McDaniel is going to be on his way out probably here in the next 4 weeks. Thank you, Michael. Well, don't thank me. I mean, it should be obvious. I don't understand why it's not. So, thank you. I agree. You know, this isn't about politics, guys. People want to make everything political. He was a political figure. I get it. This is a guy, too, who, by the way, you may not like his views, but he would go to these college campuses and he would engage these kids, mostly in a respectful manner, and give them a voice of things that they don't hear anywhere else on that campus. He was a driving force, and I think for good. I didn't agree with everything that he said, but forget about the politics, as Danny says. This is a 31-year-old guy with 2 little kids who never get to see their dad, who, by the way, were right there to witness this. And forget about the conspiracy crap, please. It's a deranged individual. End of story. Almost always is. Marc-Andre Fleury signs a player contract with the Penguins to come full circle in his career. And who knows, though, he might make the team. Is he trying to make the team, Chris, or is he just signing the one-day contract, if you will, to retire, which a lot of players do, Grant to be the next. A lot of people do it. So, but I haven't really looked at this news, so I'm not sure if this is to retire a Penguin or if it's to make the team. Did I put it up, Michael? The last one? Oh, please do if you can. I'm sorry. Yes, I will get it. I'll do the best today. Once I get up, I got a little time before the game. Once I get where I go, and I should be able to take a minute and post it. I apologize. I meant to do it last night, and we went apple picking yesterday, and it was nice. It was hot. It was warm. I had a couple ciders, and then we went to lunch, and I got home. I had to go get a haircut, and I fell asleep when I came home watching a 7-hour hurricane game because of lightning delays. My God. But we'll get it up for you, Michael, I promise. Last of the regular season in fantasy baseball. Drew, get this out of the way early. Thank you. Playoffs start next week. I will not be in the playoffs. I'll be in something called a consolation playoff, which in my world is just a participation trophy I'm playing for. Playoffs start next week. Keith is winning his matchup 11-7. I'm losing yet again. Rick you're solidly in fourth place, I think, though. You're not, Drew. 18-0 for Rick. I guess whoever's in second is resting their players this week. Michael Gott's with us over in the UK. Welcome, Michael. So good to have Michael back. If you had missed Michael for, I don't know, what was it, Michael, a month? I was trying hard. I really feel bad that I wasn't able to get Michael back commenting again. He was watching the show, but his comments weren't showing up. And there's something going on with his his YouTube, or I shouldn't say maybe not his YouTube, but my YouTube. I don't know. But we got him over to the National Stream Sports Facebook page or YouTube page, which is still up. Facebook page is not up. And that should continue, Michael, so I don't think it should go away. So we'll be good for there as long as I'm sharing the show there. Good to have you with us. Any plans to have guests on Fridays again? You and Rick conspiring with me? I've been thinking about it. I've put out a couple preliminary feelers. Dave, if I do this, there's a very good chance the interviews will not be live. I will tape them and play them either Friday or whatever time makes most sense. So we'll replay them. So it may not be one where we have viewers able to comment during the interviews. I'm not sure how we're going to do it yet. Being more flexible with my timing of doing the interviews will allow me to get more people if I decide to do it. I'm going to do it. It's just a matter of whether I want to do. I'm not doing them weekly. I can tell you now I am not. I do not want to put in the time. I'll be very transparent with you. I don't want to put in the time to chase people around every week and then worry if they're going to show up. So we may do a monthly or bi-weekly or something, and put them in as, special events, whatever. But we'll do something. I've got a couple people that I've chatted with preliminary, and I've gone back to some of the people that had put me off for a while. So we got some names, and we'll get into that more. But I'm so happy, by the way, you and Rick have always, had high praise, which I probably don't deserve for the interviews that I've done, and I enjoy doing them. I don't enjoy all the work it takes to get people to show up. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to settle. Let me settle in to my retirement. We're only 2 weeks in. Want to get my rhythm, and then we'll see what we're going to do, okay? USC is not much better than UCLA. Well, they're 3-0, which means they aren't much better than the middle school in the next country over. Hey, we do have 4 countries. We're up to 4 countries today. Not sure we're going to beat that. Well, I mean 5 if you count New York, I guess. But we have the U.S., Canada, the U.K., and California represented. He said, I was just accepted to join America's Pastime Love for Baseball. It is a great group. Drew, a lot of former players. There's hundreds. I want to say, I don't know. Greg Rawlings could tell you. Greg's a great moderator too, or admin. And he has got, I don't know, 400 or 500, maybe more, 600 former players in there, former umpires. And a lot of them participate. So good job. You'll like it. Jose and Ozzie Canseco to set a date in October for their home run derby. Who? Both put $10K in the pot. Winner is crowned by the home run king between the two of them. Where are they doing this? In like some little league park somewhere? Chris, you are working overtime for me today. Great job. Great job. Oh. Couldn't understand the Tennessee decision. Run the extra play. I don't, you don't. The only thing you can't do is get a penalty there. You'll say 5 yards, doesn't matter. What was it? I don't know what he missed. A 42-yard kick. It still matters. And you're putting your pressure on your kicker. He should have been playing to score a touchdown there in my mind. They had plenty of time to punch the ball in when he got down there. But running that extra play was silly. By the way, that's one of the worst kicks I've ever seen. I don't want to disparage this poor kid, but that was just, he missed it by the state of Tennessee. And quite frankly, at that point, once he kicked it, I really wanted Georgia to score a touchdown, so I'd covered my bet. The only way I could lose is if they kicked the field goal and they continued to play. So, anyway. Not a horrible day yesterday. For me, bet Tulane. I bet Tennessee. I bet Ole Miss. They lost by half a point. Should have bet the over in that game. Dummy. The Mets in New York will enjoy watching the playoffs. They will. Drew, I agree 100%, and I wish I had been able to do an MLB update this week. We'll be back next week at 3:00 Friday. But this team is just an epic collapse. I mean, they've been horrible. Well, they lost 9 in a row. Where are they? 8 in a row they've lost. I mean, nobody's playing. I mean, Giants were playing great. They've leveled out a little bit. But I don't know. Got a race. It's fun. The Diamondbacks are back from the dead. They traded everybody away. Now they're just 2 games out of the playoffs. So there's 14 games left. So once you get into the 3, 4, it's going to be very tough to come back, especially if you've got to pass multiple teams. Diamondbacks still alive. We'll see where they sit after today, and we'll have a much better feel, I think, after the next series that we play. Rangers again are hot. What a streaky team. Mariners, nobody hotter than the Mariners. They started growing mustaches 8 days ago, and they've won every game they played. So 8 in a row. They're tied for first. The Astros actually, technically, I believe they're in first place because they do, ESPN at least does show the Astros as the first wild card team in the American League. Mariners are playing good. I don't want to play them in the playoffs. Most of the Miami blame falls on ownership. I won't disagree with that, JB. GM and head coach to blame, but Ross has a poor hiring track record. By the way, I'm going to tell you this, and this is just my opinion, of course. He had a really good coach, I think. A guy who would have developed into a really good coach, and I really hope gets his chance again, because right now I think he's being blackballed, and that's Brian Flores. Brian Flores, the team they weren't winning a lot of games. But he basically got fired because his coach told him to lose and tank games, and he refused. Said, my job is to develop players and win games. And Stephen Ross fired him. And then he, of course, talked about the fact that, he was blackballed, sued the NFL, named a bunch of people, which isn't going to help his cause. But I think Stephen Ross had a good coach right in his grasp, and he let him go. He'll get a chance again. Hello, CA. Main game here today on Free TV, NFL, Dolphins and Patriots. I know you picked the Dolphins today, Michael. I don't know why. Let me do this while we're on this topic. I'm going to give you my picks so we have them out of the way, and I'm going to give you, and then we can just talk about my picks and the standings or whatever you want to talk about. Let me give you the results from last week first. Week 1. Some interesting results in week 1. I don't want to go to the final because we already have this week's. Well, it doesn't matter. We had it's week 2. Everybody's got one, dummy. Redskins hitter. I don't know who that is. Who is that? Anybody know that? HTTR. I'm not sure who that is. It looks like we have only one ESPN generic one left, which I'm happy about. But tell me if you're the Redskins hitters out there. Oh, that might be Anthony. I'm not sure. Is that you, Anthony? Anyway, 13 last week. The Sun God, 13. Poppy's picks with 13. Kenny, good job. If you're listening. The Juris Blitz, that's Sonia, I want to say, 12. Our generic fan, 12. Rick with 11, excuse me. Boston Paul with 11. Yours truly with 11. Bo Crouch with 11. So pretty good group. Scoobies will suck again. I'm not sure who that is. 10. Fantasy World Peace 9, and the J Train last place with 8 for James. Come on, James. And here's my picks real quick for this week, and then we'll talk some more. I had the Packers on Thursday night. I've got the Bengals over the Jaguars. Should be easy pickings, by the way. Cowboys over the Giants. Over the, who knows? Danny, you out there? Who knows about the Giants? I think today's the end of the Russell Wilson experiment. I think Jackson Dart, we got a coach who's trying to keep his job. He's got to give himself the best chance possible. I personally don't know that Jackson Dart should play right away. But you got a coach and a GM trying to save their jobs. He's probably going to play very soon. I like the Lions over the Bears. The Bears played well in the first half against the Vikings. Kudos to the Vikings for adjustments, if you will, in the second half. The defense played well. Caleb Williams did not look like anything like the quarterback who played the first half. I like the Lions to bounce back from a tough loss to Green Bay. The Rams should beat the Titans, as James said this morning on the Big Football Show. If the plane landed, that's all you need to know. I'll take the Patriots over the Dolphins. I think we'll see an improved approach from the Patriots. We need to run the football a little bit better. The plays where you swing the ball out to Henderson, who's going to be a really good weapon, by the way. We got to have some blockers out there. You got to protect your quarterback better, and the quarterback's got to protect the ball better. I think they'll do all those things. And a tough place for them to play. They have not done well in Miami over the years. Even the Tom Brady years, Miami was a tough place to play. I switched up here. I did take the 49ers and Mac Jones, who will start today for the injured Brock Purdy. I switched this morning, and I am picking the Saints to win this game over the banged-up 49ers. It's not just Purdy. It's Kittle. It's a bunch of injuries. Some people talking about letdown for the Bills. There's not going to be a letdown here. This is a veteran football team with a good coach. I love their offense. Not crazy about their defense so far. The Jets' defense was not good. That should be their strong point. But the offense was good last week against Pittsburgh. Who knows what to take away from that? I'll take the Bills over the Jets. Pittsburgh and Seattle. I like Seattle a little bit. If this game was in Seattle, I'd definitely be taking Seattle. But because of the cross-country travel and Aaron Rodgers playing a decent game last week, actually a good game. Let me give him credit. I like the Steelers today. We'll take the Ravens to bounce back. I think the Browns are going to be pistol whipped today. The Ravens will be angry. I like the Colts. I like the Colts to beat the Broncos traveling again, at least a time zone. Broncos did win last week, not in terribly impressive fashion. The Colts are a little better than we think. I don't think they're great by any means. I've talked about Daniel Jones having a chance at reviving his career, and he played well last week against, albeit a horrible Miami team. I'll take the Colts here. We'll take the Cardinals over the Panthers. The Panthers, I picked the Panthers to improve. I like Arizona to improve. I think I will take Arizona at home here. I like the Chiefs to beat the Philadelphia Eagles and get a little revenge. That won't mean much on the Super Bowl loss. I think the Chiefs are better than we think. Worthy's going to be out, so it's going to be tough. But these are the kind of games that Patrick Mahomes finds a way to, the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes find a way to keep close, and then they find a way to win. This game's in Kansas City. I'll take the Chiefs to win this game. The Vikings, I will take at home against the Falcons. I still think the Falcons are a mess. I still think you'll see Kirk Cousins playing quarterback, not because of injury, but because of performance sooner or later in the season for the Falcons. But I'll take the Vikings at home. Houston over Tampa Bay. This will be a good game. I like Houston at home, though. And then the Raiders play at home against the Chargers. I think both those games, those second two games, are on Monday night. So 2 Monday night games again this week. So there you go. Anyway, let's get back here because I know we're probably backed up on comments. See how far behind am I? 15 minutes. Not bad yet. Sorry to send to you. No, don't worry about when you send it. I was going to try. I meant to try to get it posted, and I just didn't have a chance. Your stuff is really good. But we're really just trying to. Yeah, I know. And I apologize for the delay. And again, read Michael's stuff because he's got some really good thought-provoking stuff in there. Which team do you support in true football? Oh, I forget who Michael said he. Did Michael tell me he was a Jet fan? No, that was the late Dan Harris. The late, great Dan Harris. And I don't know if Michael knew Dan. Dan, did you know Michael? I'm Dan. Dan's not going to answer me. Maybe he will. Michael, did you know my good friend, the late, great Dan Harris, who did his own podcasting over there in the UK? And he and I worked together a lot. And I'm not sure if that's how you found us or not. But we do appreciate you and your keep sharing the show to your UK friends. Sorry, I just skipped over Chris's thing here. Chris has Tiger Woods and Will Zalatoris will team up in the Nexus Cup. It's an interesting team up for Tiger. Won't be long before he'll be playing with Charlie in these types of events. I see you're friends with John Randall. He's a character. Yes, he's a guy I put on my list to reach out to, actually, Rick. I feel like I've had as many Vikings on as I've had anybody that I've interviewed, or any, teams, I guess, people from teams that I've interviewed. But then I guess it's only two of the better ones. Ed White was a great interview. Chuck Foreman loved it. I got my officer and a gentleman moment out of him. Then Sky NFL, we have the game day morning report. Bears and Lions, Eagles and Chiefs. And lastly, the Falcons and Vikings. Those are the games you can watch if you're in the UK today. Alicia, if you're out there, there's your games. USC is recruiting well again. I agree. I think the recruiting is back on track. I think they, like many teams, Florida State, for example, relied too much on the portal and made some bad calls, and it showed. So, Major League birthdays. Bubba Chandler. I've got a couple names. I blank on names lately more than ever. Bubba Chandler, I'm not sure. I'm going to say an outfielder. Derek, is that Derek Lee or Derek Law? I don't know Derek Law at all. Delman Young, outfielder with the Tampa Bay. Never quite, and some other teams, never quite made it. Chad Bradford, pitcher. David Bell, former manager in Cincinnati and son of Buddy Bell, and a okay major leaguer himself. Jerry Don Gleaton, pitcher. Tim Wallach, very good third baseman back in his day with the Expos and the Dodgers. Harry Parker, good one. Pitcher, if it's the right Harry Parker, with the Mets. One of their young phenoms who never really stood out. Stan Williams was a really good pitcher, a decent pitcher, and a good pitching coach for many, many years. Jerry Coleman, a real character, played with the Yankees and later was a broadcaster with the Padres. He was the king of the malaprop as the broadcaster for the for the Padres. He had some very funny malaprops for the years. Kid Nichols, don't know Kid. And household names. I'd always like to see if I can get one of these. I don't know any of these guys. Ice House Wilson sounds familiar, but I don't know. Good job, Drew. Putting up, oh my God. Robinson Cano will never get another chance. He has 4,000 professional hits. Where's he playing? Is he playing in Korea too? They don't count. We didn't count Ichiro's, right? I think Ichiro, if I'm not mistaken, somebody mistake me or catch me if I'm wrong. In Japan and the U.S., I think he had more hits than Pete Rose. I'm not positive about that comment. I could be misremembering that, but Cano's never getting another chance. He had about 100 with the Mets and the Padres his last chance. And by the way, ruined a very good baseball career. And the Yankees never should have traded him to Seattle and signed Jacoby. They signed the Pittsburgh center fielder, Ellison. Or almost professional hits. Well, they are professional leagues. I mean, I have to give him credit for that. I don't know where he got I don't know what he's got in the major leagues, but 2,200. Is that right, though? I'm not going to doubt you, Chris, because I don't know where I would find all of those hits. I guess it would add up. Now I got to look. Come on. Yeah, let's see. I can't find my mouse. There we go. Robinson Cano. The things I make myself look up. I want to know where these hits were now. And usually the best baseball reference will give me all of them. So, in the major leagues, he had, 2,639 hits. That's more than I thought. That's good. Can I find out where he got the rest of them? Mexican League. I guess Mexican League. Oh, well, I see. You're adding up his minor league stats, or no? I'm guessing you're adding up his minor league stats and his Dominican Republic and Mexico hits. Am I accurate or not? So I guess if this one might give it to me right here. All levels, 3,620 is what I see here. That's majors, minors, and foreign. 3,620. So I'm not sure where the other 380 are, but you might be able to tell me, Chris. Oops, sorry, Danny. Oh, sorry, Michael. Can a team sometimes overcoach? Yes, 100%. I know you're not asking me, you're asking Danny, but I will tell you, yes. Josh Heupel definitely overcoaches often. Tennessee doesn't know how to finish games. This happens against Georgia all the time. It happens against Alabama. They controlled that game. Then they give up 20 straight points. Then they have a chance to just put it away at the end with a touchdown and be done with it. And they don't do it. Kick a field goal in overtime. Georgia goes right down, scores. We're done. Mets need to bring back Grimace and let him pitch a full game. That's a good one. If the Mariners get in the playoffs, they'll be in the World Series. That starting pitching is sick. I've talked about the Mariners and the starting pitching for a couple of years, so I agree. Plus, their offense has caught up with them. I'm obviously rooting for the Yankees, Michael, as I know you are. I don't want to see them. If the Yankees aren't going to the World Series, and there's still some issues there, Jazz, you can't get thrown out of third base with nobody out. You can't try to steal third base. You have to. There can't be a throw. But anyway, they're winning games and they're playing better baseball. The kids are making a big difference. And if the Mets make the playoffs, it's going to be because of their kid pitchers too. I love to see this too, by the way. Going to be interesting to see what the Yankees do with their rotation. Heel pitched really good the other day. Rondon's, to his credit, and I saw the numbers, the last 5 years when they were interviewing him in the dugout the other night. And he had one bad year, the first year with the Yankees adjusting to New York, and, I patted myself on the back. Well, he's had 2 pretty good years in a row now, and when I'm wrong, I tell you. I was wrong about Carlos Rendon. World Series of Darts, free on FanDuel. I did download the app on my smart TVs. I haven't done a lot with it yet, but I have finally downloaded the app. So, agree, 10,000% Brian Flores. He was amazing. He would have been a really good head coach. I really believe he's working his way there, but he wasn't to a boy. And Stephen, that was there was 2 things. There was the fact that he wouldn't lose games on purpose, and the fact that he wasn't in love with Tua as his quarterback. That's kind of proven to be accurate. Still baffled that competitive shot put throwing requires tremendous all-around strength, but you just you can't just show up with one giant arm. I don't know why this is striking me so funny, Chris, but I'm picturing like Jack, if you're out there, I love you. I'm picturing Jack Hirsch with one giant arm and being the Olympic shot put champion. Actually, the Phillies, 901. I think I just said I did leave them out. They're on my list here. I thought I'd mention them, but thank you. I think I skipped over and was just talking about the American League West at the time. Phillies are playing good. This is a good time to get hot. And the Phillies are playing really good baseball. Their streak is not as important other than, maybe momentum heading to the playoffs. Their streak is not nearly as important as the Mariners, as they hadn't even locked up a playoff spot and still haven't, by the way. I mean, I think the great races, the fun races we're going to see, I think the West, I've said this before, I think the Dodgers are finally in control. We're going to see a great race in the American League West. We're going to see a great race for the wild card in the last wild card in both the National League and American League. If you like wild card races, kudos. You're in good shape. Me, I prefer divisional races to mean something more than these two mean. Because neither one of them will the loser of the, or any of them, will the loser of the division be out of the playoffs. And Drew also mentions the Cards, who, by the way, they've hung around this thing. They're like 4 behind, I think, right, in the wild card. That's too many with 14 to go in my mind. And 3 teams to pass. Brewers plus 174, Phillies plus 132. That is a lot, by the way. But I'll tell you what, the Brewers have basically played 500 baseball since that streak. And the playoffs are coming up, and it's kind of hard to turn it back on. Brewers still need to prove me something in the playoffs. Love their coach. I love the way they play the game. But Giants, I'm assuming you're talking about the New York Football Giants. Listen, their quarterback situation, by the way, screams everything that's wrong with having a lame duck coach, which I know Jack hates that term. Maybe we'll get into it tomorrow. But you don't make decisions the same way. If you're safe, I don't think they would throw Jackson Dart in there, in week 3, which is a possibility. Maybe even today, who knows? If your coach and your GM were secure. I think you wouldn't let him go behind a horrible offensive line and get the bejesus beat out of him. I think Daboll's situation makes it very hard for him to make an impartial decision on what's best for the organization and best for the quarterback, because he has to consider what's best for him. And that's winning football games, or at least being competitive, because John Mara has said that. Joe Shine's not firing Brian Daboll. I know that. They're both getting fired. Good to have you with us this morning, Carlos. Those two Buffalo knuckleheads should never have been hired in the Meadowlands. Should have never been hired in the Meadowlands of New Jersey. Who are we talking about? We're talking about the guys who were messing with Lamar and his wide receiver last week in Buffalo. Did they get hired in the Meadowlands? Keep your hands off players, would you please? Because something's going to happen. Lamar pushes a guy, and the news is Lamar Jackson pushes a fan. That's the headline. Players can't interact with fans that way, and fans got to keep their hands off players. You buy tickets. You don't have the right to do whatever you want to do. Go and boo them, hiss them. Don't touch them. Don't slap them. Don't throw food at them. Don't spit at them. Don't throw racial epithets at them. So many. G-Men are a wreck. Sorry, Keith. Let Dart play. Look, there's two school of thoughts. I'm not saying I'm right. I think some quarterbacks and some can play right away, even in bad situations. And like Peyton Manning played in a bad situation, and it worked out all right for him. Troy Aikman, although Jimmy Johnson kind of liked his guy a little more for a little while, not long, but Troy and Jimmy ended up building a great bond. But there was a time where he wanted his quarterback from Miami to be the quarterback while they were losing 15 games, and Aikman was getting beat up. So there's a time to play, guys, but then there's a time. Some guys can handle that. Some guys need to sit and watch. You're right about you're right about these two guys. Although, I mean, I don't think we'll ever know how good Zach Wilson could have been. I'm not saying he would have been any good, but he was put into a position to fail by the Jets. Never had a chance. I'll use him as one example. I'm sure there's dozens of others. But I'm saying I'm right. There's two schools of thought. Play him right away. I've fallen into that camp sometimes. I think with Dart, I love his leadership capabilities. And if you want to win more games and be more competitive, then play Dart. I'm all for that, by the way. If you're a Giant fan, maybe you don't want that, because if you don't want Daboll, then you don't want him to play well. Maybe the Giants can dump them in a swamp nearby. I'm still not sure what we're talking about there. Did those guys get hired? I don't know about. The Nationals are second worst in run differential. Rockies are at the. Listen, I'm so disappointed in the Rockies for winning some games here in the second half and ruining my excitement of chasing the loss record for a second year in a row. Actually, we've had somebody challenging it, including the Rockies, 3/4 of the way through the season. Every year I've done these shows, and I'm disappointed in the Rockies for winning too many games. Falling 20 minutes behind. Was in the shower. Jack's wrong about the Cowboys under the most pressure today, not a Super Bowl season. He loves his Giants. Jack's a Giant fan, by the way, or a Jet fan, by the way. Lions and Texans under the most pressure. It's week 2. Nobody's under a lot of pressure in my mind. I mean, Miami is, because the coach is hanging by a thread. There's no danger of guys losing their jobs in Houston or in Detroit. Our starting out 0-2 is not the end of the world. might be the end of the world. And even in the NFC North, I don't think it's the end of the world with 4 really good teams. Maybe. We don't know about Chicago yet. I like them, but that doesn't mean they're going to do that well. But, yeah, to me, Miami's under the most pressure. But agree. Spencer Rattler beats the 49ers. Hello, Neil. Good to have you with us. Sorry about your Gamecocks yesterday. What a thrashing at home by Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt's got a really good team. Coach Lee, I can't say enough about Avila, the quarterback, and Coach Lee and some other players. This is a really good football team. They played really good football last year. They got Alabama next week, and they beat Alabama. Who's under more pressure than DeBoer next week? Kalen DeBoer next week. He lost to this team last year at Vanderbilt, I believe. Now he's got him back at home. He needs some payback. If Dart plays, he'll be wrecked behind that O-line. I don't disagree. But I think Jackson Dart's a tough kid and somebody who can deal with that more than a Zach Wilson, more than some other guys. Again, we talked about, Michael brought up 2 guys that were put in very early and had to take some severe lumps and were really not good quarterbacks. Peyton Manning, not any good his first year. Troy Aikman, even worse. But they became 2 of the greatest quarterbacks we've had. Hell, Phil Simms didn't have it easy in New York either. Remember, they tried to bench him for Scott Bruner, the immortal Scott Bruner from, I think, Delaware. Mark Hendrickson had a very quiet but good NBA career before switching to baseball. Yeah, Mark Hendrickson is also another good example of teaching your kid to be left-handed. Because you can pitch forever and not be any good. I didn't know he played the NBA, quite frankly. Who did he play with, Chris? Trying to get caught up a little bit here. We're still 22 minutes behind. Thoughts on Thursday night football, on the game itself or Thursday night football? Packers look really good. Now, and the Redskins didn't play well. But that's 2 really good teams the Packers have made look bad. Redskins are hurt severely, I think, by Eckler being out. I think they underutilized him last year. He's out for the year with a torn Achilles. It's possible Green Bay, I picked them to finish last even after the Micah Parsons trade in that North, but I didn't think they'd be a bad football team. I just thought the Bears would be improved, and that division is the toughest in football. But maybe the Packers are special, but it's early. We'll see what they're doing in December. December football decides winners and losers. I tell you, all I'll tell you is this about early season football. It's all well and good. Play well. Every win matters. I get it. December. During that Patriot 20-year run, and I keep going back to that, and I'm going to because guess what? It's the most awesome 20-year run in the history of football. They own December. Playoff run. Denny Dimes plays 1 great game and then loses 4 straight. Very consistent in that. Okay, well, this is a better football team than he's ever played on, by the way. This Indianapolis team, while not being a great football team by any stretch of imagination, I truly believe this is the best team he's played on. And he played a bad football team last week, too. So the Dolphins are a mess. But I said before the season, and I'm not going off of one good game, by the way. I'm going off of what I said before the season. I think, and I said while he was in New York, when he leaves New York, he is a very good candidate to have a Geno Smith type turnaround to his career. I agree, friend, but there's so many but we're many quarterbacks, but so no, yeah, I don't disagree. As long as he doesn't lose a lung and allow Brady to surface, but Brady didn't just surface. Here's the thing that people forget or maybe don't know, and I've said that a few times on this show, Michael. Maybe not since you've been joining us regularly. But the Patriots had a real dilemma in 2001. They knew that Tom Brady was the best quarterback in camp. He was a guy that should be playing. But the problem was Drew was a veteran. The veterans loved Drew. And Drew had just signed the biggest contract in the history of the NFL. They couldn't do anything but play him until he got hurt. So they were very fortunate. And there could be situations like that around the NFL today where the better quarterback is sitting just because. That might be the case in Chicago. I don't know. I don't know what Ben Johnson's thinking. He may not think Caleb Williams is the guy for his system. I don't know. I got thinking about it when the question came up earlier about changing quarterbacks. I don't see it happening. But I got thinking about Brady and that situation. I don't know. They just signed their backup quarterback to an extension, not a big one. But maybe there's something to that. Maybe Ben Johnson thinks there's something in what he does that's better for his system than Caleb Williams. I don't know that. I don't think so, but I don't know. Because I always go back to that Brady Bledsoe situation, and they weren't playing the quarterback they wanted to play before Drew nearly lost his life. But you got a good point. Listen, there's a school of thought to both ways. And, it used to be quarterbacks never got thrown in there right away. Jerry Jones continues to use the money he saved on Parsons by extending yet another player, Tyler Smith, to his previous ones. Listen, I like the Smith extension. I like the Jake Ferguson extension. I'm not crazy about the Ron Bland one. I've been very clear on Ron Bland for a long time. People want to look at all the interceptions he had, and he returned 2 picks for a touchdown in one game, set a record on Thanksgiving, and blah, 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 blah. Well, you know who doesn't get a lot of interceptions? All the best cornerbacks in the NFL. All of them. Because nobody throws at them. So maybe I like the Ferguson signing especially. I think Jake Ferguson is a very capable tight end. And I like the Tyler one too. By the way, talked about the Giant situation on Are You Serious? Which one? We didn't talk about Jackson Dart. Oh, you may be having maybe you've repurposed the show too. I don't know, Carlos. If you would, I'd be happy to plug it for you. Because I know you do some stuff with Robert and whatnot. I don't know if you're doing some stuff on your own or not. If you are, I hope you're doing well. But the Giant situation, we talked about the coaching situation, and I don't think you like Daboll then. But I don't remember you liking anybody who was ever hired for anything in New York City. I'm pretty sure that the new mayor down there is probably going to, find a way to, abolish sports probably in New York anyway. Good luck. Good luck. All I can say to people in New York is good luck. If that turns out as it appears it will. Rangers' best record over the last 20 no doubt. They've been very up and down. I'm not sure what Ranger team. And again, you get hot. I mean, who knows? We might be seeing a Ranger Diamondback repeat in the World Series here, Danny. 2 years ago, this is exactly what happened. They both got hot at the end of the season and right to the World Series. Diamondbacks aren't dead. Michael's answering Michael's question about his allegiance in the NFL. He has no true allegiance to a particular team, really, just a lover of the whole game. From here in the UK, he had an NLB down as an ASC fan. Oh, he's an AFC fan and has always liked the Raiders. Sorry, my view of my screen now has gotten smaller, or my studio screen, so it's harder to read the comments. Probably should read them from the list. It's probably easier. Gerwin Price versus Chris Dobie starting now. What's the line? I want to get a bet in. I'll give you my picks today, too. Who am I going to bet? Let me pull up the I'm going to pull up the cigar box lines. I'm going to tell you who my picks will be. 3 picks. 3 picks yesterday, 3 picks today. Down a little bit. Down a little bit right now. Not much. Down like, after yesterday, I might be down $65 cheap. Are the Packers a team to beat in the NFC? Too early to say that. For me, Michael, I mean, you want to base it just off of 2 games. Well, yeah, they're playing the best. I guess I'll wait for the Eagles-Chiefs game today maybe to say that. But, yeah, I mean, Minnesota played well, though, as well. Very impressed with their adjustments in that game. They looked like they were going to get run out of the building. It looked like J.J. McCarthy was in it over his head, and he played really good football. I'm going to tell you something. That Viking team is a well-coached team. Kevin O'Connell is really, really good at what he does, and he's really good at quarterbacks. And if you held a gun to my head right now, maybe not a great analogy this week, but sure, they played really well. Bubba Chandler's, and that may change next week, by the way. The newest pitching prospect for the Pirates, Derek Law, was a pitcher for 6 teams in 8 years, mostly a reliever with a 3.69 ERA. Oh, Derek Law, thank you. Jesus, I'm like, what? You changed pitchers on me in the middle of the... I see. Drew's got a handle on the minors more than I do these days. When I played in the Dynasty fantasy football, baseball league for 30 years before I left there, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I could tell you every guy in every minor league. I could tell you guys playing high school because we would draft guys and you'd have them and sign them to contracts and have them for X amount of time as they progress through the majors, through the minors. 4,300 plus was Ichiro. 4,300 plus was Ichiro. That's pretty good. We need a bingo card during the show. Squares would be topics, takes that make Keith pause and go look up stuff. R for Cano, B for Alex. What was Alex? Did I look up Alex something? I try to get stuff off the top of my head, but when there's like exact numbers, I can't just pull them. And I'm a fact checker, right? And by the way, just to be clear, it's tied, I guess, my earlier comments, but I don't care what we're talking about on social media today. Please, guys, do me a favor and do yourselves a favor and do your friends a favor. Before you share anything, fact check it. Because there is more BS, false stories, just anything you want to talk about. Not even like political stuff. I'm talking about, movies that are coming. New TV shows. I love Bosch, right? And all I see, like once a day, I see a post that looks real from Netflix that Bosch and the Lincoln Lawyer Nick are gonna cross over because they were half brothers in the books. If you didn't know that, and they're gonna do a show together. It's not happening. They make this stuff up. I see it about movies and TV shows. Obviously, politics. People dying. They're not dead. It's been Neil Diamond's 85th birthday for about 11 months. I think it might have happened here last week. I don't know if it was Neil Diamond or somebody else, but he's a famous one, right? Oh, there's a new Netflix miniseries on Neil Diamond. No, and then I see the same one for another singer and another singer and another singer. Please, guys. My poor wife fell for one of them. She was reading it to me, and I knew it was I knew it was bogus as she's reading it, and I didn't have the heart to stop her. I don't remember what it was now. I mean, a lot of that stuff's harmless, but sports too. All the time. So-and-so cut, so-and-so traded, so-and-so blah, blah, blah. God, can we just... Where was I? Did I miss something here? Oops. I don't want to miss anything. Jazz is the epitome of the hot girlfriend in high school. You take the good with the bad, for real. Without a doubt. I mean, the guy's mercurial. He's got a great talent. But, I mean, and then he has lapses. This kid, and some of these errors are at third base, by the way. But he's like second in the league to Volpe in throwing errors. And they're just mental lapses. Great player. Cleveland safety Grant Delpit says it's not hard to bring down Derrick Henry. You can't wait to see. Yeah. Why do people put bulletin board stuff up on the bulletin board? Oddly enough. Sometimes I like to check these and see. Wayne Hathaway, hey, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you with us. Feel free to comment. Time we got 10:09. We're still doing good. I got our picks in. Get back to some comments. I want to make sure I'm looking at some things just to see if we want to touch on them. I talked about big extensions. That's one of the things I couldn't read. Arch Manning. Should we be worried about Arch Manning? Very poor performance against Texas El Paso yesterday. After I thought getting his footing last week against San Jose State, but very pedestrian at best output. I think he'll be fine. Remember, he hasn't played a lot of quarterback. Next year, he will develop into a very fine quarterback. Will he be the first pick in a draft? I don't know. Great line by LSU wins 20-10 yesterday, and Brian Kelly gets asked about what's wrong with your offense. He's like, "Come on, dudes." Oh, A&M over Notre Dame. Rick, where are you? Special teams. They miss an extra point. Take the lead. 2 minutes left. Miss the extra point. Worst case scenario, they're going to overtime. But they miss the extra point and they lose the game. Almost had a goal line stand. Kansas State, a horrible loss to Arizona yesterday. Kudos to military academies. I didn't give my shout-outs. Navy wins. Kudos to one of them. Navy wins big over Tulsa. Don't count Navy out of the playoff picture. They got the American is going to be a dogfight this year. Tulane, South Florida, Navy. So Memphis is 3-0. And Air Force lost badly to Utah State and Brock Mendenhall yesterday, 49-30. Any other games to note here? A lot of blowouts in the top 25. Miami looked really, really, really good. FanDuel TV is on Roku Live, Amazon, Pluto, and more. I don't see. Oh, I do see FanDuel on Pluto, actually, the more I think about it. Because I watch a lot of Pluto TV because I'm old. And a lot of the shows I like are on there. Phillies will miss Wheeler in the playoffs, but they do have enough. They will. Wheeler, I mean, obviously you're going to miss Wheeler. Any team's going to miss Wheeler. But, some of their younger guys have stepped up and pitched pretty well, I think, in that rotation. Be interesting to see what they do with Nola. My guess is he doesn't make the the roster, but we'll see. But they do definitely have enough to win the NL. They've probably been a better team this year overall than the Dodgers. They need Turner to come back healthy, agree, and in sync right away. He is the engine for him. It's amazing how he's turned things around after his first few months in Philadelphia. And Philadelphia we talk about how hard it can be to play in New York. Listen, it's hard to win fans back in Philadelphia, and he had a tough start to his career there last year, and he's done it, and really become the player that he was. Brewers weren't much better overall than the Athletics if you remove their prospective big streaks. Just saying. Well, again, you can't really. I don't think you can really look at it that way. Michael, I mean, obviously the streaks mean something. You won games, so you can't just discount that. Because you can do that for almost any team. Jeez, take out the Rangers streaks. They'd be worse than the A's. I think the Brewers are a good baseball team. I really do. You saw the numbers with the run differentials, which, again, can be a little misleading both ways. But I just like the way they approach the game. Murphy's a really good manager. A bit old school, if anybody is today, I think, in the way they approach the game. Move base runners. Put the ball in play. I always have a soft spot for teams that do that, but then they come up small in the playoffs all the time. So what the Brewers do in the playoffs will ultimately prove whether your comment is very accurate or just a throwaway, if you will. Carlos was referring to Dabo and Shine in the Meadowlands. Yeah, I thought so. It's okay. I thought Dabo's a good coach. I'm still not sold that he isn't. Brian Dabo gets fired here. I'm not sure he doesn't get another chance again somewhere. This organization is just screwed up. They made a horrible decision about Saquon Barkley last year, and it's going to take time to recover from that. And a bad look, by the way, for Neighbors, Mikhail Neighbors last week, putting a towel over his head, getting in his coach's face on the sideline. And don't say, well, you're a hypocrite, because a couple of years ago when Travis Kelce did the same kind of thing, and again, the situations probably aren't exactly the same of game situations, but Travis Kelce gets in Andy Reid's face, and Andy Reid just kind of says, yeah. There's a big difference between Travis Kelce and the collateral he's built up over a great career, and Mikhail Neighbors. He's a great player. Don't show your coach up or your teammates. Hello, Matt. How are you? Good to have you with us, my friend. Our Yankee fan out in L.A. We love you guys. Good luck to your Chargers today. I think I picked against them, didn't I? Did I pick against your Chargers today? Or are they playing tomorrow? When are they playing? Are they playing tomorrow? I took the Raiders. Took the Raiders at home. What's Drew got for me? How we doing here? What's my time? 9:52. Geez, can't quite catch up. Jalen, who? Oh, Jalen packing it in. I'm not sure why the Saints feel they needed him, given their own crew of receivers out there. You know what? The kid's got some talent. he certainly wasn't. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Little technical glitch. I got an itchy trigger finger. Talking about Jalen Polk. He's got some talent. Patriots are tired of waiting for it. He had some issues in camp this year. He's out for the season. I believe he's on the marked ineligible to return injured reserve. So whatever. Now I got to find where I was. Worst thing about getting dumped out of here is I lost my. There we go. Manny was sacked 120, 12,000. Is that 219 times or 1,219? He was. And Aikman was beat up. So South Carolina was bad. At least Clemson also lost. So Neil's got something to hold on to at least. South Carolina fans, you've had to do that for a lot of years. Root for Clemson to lose is the silver lining. You got a good football team. You didn't lose to a bad football team yesterday, Neil, but that's a bad loss at home. Especially come, when playoff committees start evaluating, individual games. Phil's and Hostetler, great blast from the past. How about Hostetler was a decent quarter. Can you believe that Phil Simms lost his job at one point when who was the coach before Parcells? Went to Alabama. Oh, Ray Perkins was the coach. He lost his job to Scott Bruner. Scott Bruner won a Division II championship for Tubby Raymond at Delaware. Second best quarterback ever to come out of Delaware, Neil. Hello, Paul Spada, Boston Paul, Wisconsin Paul, Oregon Paul. Bill Pulver, good morning. How are you, my friend? Can you believe I'm rooting for Drake May to have 6 touchdown passes today? I can. When you let the computer pick for you. Billy, did you win a game? Did you win last week, Billy? I don't even know. Where's our... I did not. I got my butt kicked last week. I expect to bounce back this week. I think everybody in our that's not what I wanted. I wanted Yahoo. I believe everybody in I got it right here, don't I? Yeah. I believe everybody in the Fantasy Football League is here or close to it. How am I signed out? I seem to be signed out of like everything in my computer. I don't know what the hell happened. Now I can't get in. Well, I was going to look at the fantasy, but I'm not going to. We got to get caught up on these comments. Yes, Billy had a little trouble getting into the draft room and ended up with Drake May as a starting quarterback. I'm rooting for you to have 6 touchdown passes from Drake May today, Billy. Football in December, great point. Teams have gotten to that point and are in position and fold. They do, by the way. But if you cannot win then yes, it is a stretch run, absolutely. NFL is a mirage if you compare it to MLB marathon of 162 games. But the final month will sort it all out. It normally does, and that's where good teams step up. The teams that are playing crappy in December normally play crappy in January. Don't turn it back on. Great stuff about Bledsoe contract, Brady sitting. Thank you for that, Keith. I didn't uncover that story other than reading it in several books about that dynasty. There's one great one that I would recommend to anyone. I just cannot for the life of me remember the name. I got to pull it up. I know I shared the book when I was reading it. I think it was Ian O'Connor's book, and it might have been Dynasty. Really some great behind-the-scenes stuff, especially the Brady Bledsoe transition, because Drew was the MVP of that team by not making it a big stink, but Drew was pissed. And then the Brady Belichick Kraft breakup, if you will. It was really sad. It's really sad to read about what went on. Dart is definitely the best quarterback in New York. I would not disagree. That's a good one, Matt. I think Raleigh's going to win. He's a catcher. He's not only setting all these records with the bat, he's the best defensive catcher in at least the American League, if not baseball. I think Raleigh wins. And if the Mariners don't make the playoffs, maybe it's Judge. But if the Mariners make the playoffs, and I expect that they will, I think it's going to be Raleigh. There's my boy AC. Good to have you with us this morning. Michael Gott, Packers might just be the best team on both sides of the ball. Today, yes, I would agree. Again, as I was saying in my comments, Danny, and I know he did ask you, I think. So I got to give you that. What was I saying? Yes, as we speak today, they're the best team on both sides of the ball. Sorry, I need some water to go along with my coffee. But I don't know that that'll be the case 2 months from now. I don't know if that'll be the case in December. But as we speak today, and what I've seen so far, and there are only two teams that I've seen play 2 games. They're the best team on both sides of the ball. I'll agree. Not yet. I mean, it's September. They start these seasons too soon. You know, we're still playing. The problem with the NHL and the NBA is they start their seasons when the NFL baseball's still going. You know, we're heading towards the World Series and the playoffs and the World Series. Football's getting into full swing. College football's really hitting its stride. And the NBA and the NHL are lost until like February, at least for me. I mean, we'll talk about them, Michael, and as a Ranger fan, I'm having a little trouble getting excited. Fact check everything today, except Michael's stuff. He's all over it. I'm going to give you this one. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but he didn't accept it at West Point, but he died a soldier, death fighting for America is the best he could. I agree. And we talked about this at the top, AC. We're not going to make it a political thing in any way, shape, or form. Speaking of AI, just to put this up, I'll say one more time. All the people who have made this a big political thing, it's a 31-year-old man with 2 kids that have died. It's a horrendous thing. All the people that are posting anything negative about anything except Charlie Kirk's death and how tragic that is, I'm not interested in. Speaking of fact check, with all the AI stuff out there, I'm a little leery to trust share anything anymore. It's horrible, crazy. It is. I mean, again, I check everything. We've had some people I follow the show and other people I know send me stuff. And I'm like, dude, you got to take a look at that because I'm going to bet anything that's not right. I just need it. All you have to do is go find one credible source. I mean, look at look at the URLs where this stuff comes from or whatever, and then go check, legitimate. If it's sports, make sure it's on ESPN.com or The Athletic or Fox Sports or some places reporting the same story. Same thing with any story. Make sure a legitimate news outlet is posting the same thing. It's not hard. AC says, Stone Cold Steve Austin, don't trust anyone. Oh, who said don't trust anybody over 30? That was every teenager in my, was that my era or before me? I don't even know. Chargers 27, Vegas 14. I'm going to take that score the other way, Matt. How about that? Let's wager a coffee. I'll send you a Dunkin'. Well, $5. Well, how much is a Dunkin' Donuts coffee? $5. I'm going to take the Raiders over to. I'll send you a Dunkin' Donuts card if for $5 for a coffee if I win. Okay. What that is. Aggies did play very well last night. CJ Carr played well again, took his team down. Second game in a row, that he took his team to what could have been the game-winning touchdown, only to have the defense let him down. And special teams let him down. Nola needs to get help. Dabo and Boone pack it in and move to the condo in the Hamptons come October. I think Dabo makes it through the season, but Boone had better win a playoff series. If he wins the first round, you know what, Michael? My guess is they won't make any moves. Depending on how it goes, I guess. But I think if he wins the series, he's probably safe still. Rangers are streaking us to be the poster child for a Windex commercial. No doubt. I love the way the Brewers play baseball. Not many teams play even the Brewers don't play it exactly the way I want it to be played, right? But those days are gone. I don't get what I want. Talking of old programs, Keith, one of my favorite shows as a kid was Top Cat and his pals and Officer Dibble. I loved Top Cat when I was a kid. How old are you, Michael? I don't know if I ever asked you. I can't tell by that profile picture. It's too small for me. Michael's another guy, by the way, who catfishes me all the time, I don't know if that's the right term. He sneaks up on me with other names like Paul Spada does. It's all good, buddy. Daboll's not a good head coach. Coordinator, sure. Head coach, no. Don't apologize. I don't know that he'll get another job. My gut says he will because of where he coached and the situation there. But if Daniel Jones develops and does have that second coming that I talked about, that's going to look bad for Dabo. But he's a good coordinator, without a doubt. He's going to get another coordinator's job. He'll get if he gets fired this offseason, he'll have a coordinator's job next year if he wants one. San Diego Superchargers. Michael, definitely agree. Some coaches make great coordinators, and that's it. Listen, the Patriots are a great example, some of the guys. Matt Patricia, great coordinator, horrible head coach. Charlie Weiss, McDaniels, who's Romeo Crennel. Yeah, CA's pandering to the crowd. They're calling Daniel Jones Indiana Jones in Indianapolis. They better wait. I mean, as Carlos said, they could lose 4 in a row now, but I liked them today. B. Paul, my tag team brother, training for the WWE WrestleMania for our match. Oh, thank you, Danny. You guys are the best, I got to tell you. 100%. There's a show out there that is loyal, fun, smart. I got the smartest audience in all the podcasts. Joe Rogan's got nothing on me. Joe Rogan doesn't let guys make comments the way I do. This is the way a show should be run. Well, not all of them. I want to stay out there and be myself. Gerwin Price and Luke Littler in a semi. Have a tablet on it. Starts around noon with football. Hey, I'll take my tablet with me. Raleigh will win, but I'd rather have a judge. If I were, yeah, I would too. I mean, here's the thing: Raleigh catches, and unless he changes positions, he's going to lose some of that offensive prowess, right? So, I'm excited about the Kings this season. There you go. See, I'm not excited about the Rangers, and I have a hard time getting excited about hockey when my Rangers suck, especially in October, which we aren't even there yet. I'll be posting an NHL article soon. Cool. Please read and share. Absolutely. I love playoff hockey. I really do. I will. I'm the first to admit, and I follow hockey, and we'll try to get back hooked up with our colleague Jim Behringer during the hockey season. But I tend to be when I do a deep dive when the Rangers are good. So I'm a fair weather fan, I guess. In order of Kyle, Schwarber may be more valuable than Tucker is free agents. He's number 1 in RBIs, number 2 in home runs, number 4 in slugging, number 5 in base on balls, and even has 10 stolen bases. He doesn't play the outfield. Tucker's a really good defensive outfielder, though. I can play the outfield at 65 years old better than Kyle Schwarber. I don't disagree, though. He's going to get big bucks, probably, Drew. So, because, again, people will look at those numbers and love them. Go to the right ballpark, though. He's also, you got to remember, he's playing in a great offensive ballpark. San Francisco Falcons at Vikings Sunday Night Football. That's a good one. Carr for Notre Dame. If I only get my position to the point of maybe winning, I'm still on the fringe, looking out the window at the winners, and get to celebrate and not sulk off the field and winning. I could have dated one of the cheerleaders. I could have dated. He's played well. Taking nothing away from A&M, but Notre Dame, a 2-week window to prepare for a home game. Freeman is a good coach. That's about it. Good. Well, off this result, I'll give him a pass on Miami, right? You're playing on the road against what is turning out to be a really good football team. You're going to tell me they played Bethune-Cookman, that's why they're 3-0. Well, they beat a good Notre Dame team. They beat a good South Florida team. And I'm going to tell you something. I watched every second of the Bethune-Cookman game. That team could have scored 80 points that day. They just ran the football. Carr threw enough to, get some good numbers, but they could have scored 80. Dabo, next head coach at Florida. Well, I don't think Florida is going that direction, but Billy Napier is on his way out. All the goodwill that he rebuilt for himself and the program the end of last year, gone. Michael's 60. Will be 61 on New Year's Eve. Well, happy early birthday. I'm older. The healthier judge gets the farther the healthier judge gets, the farther the tank will go. I agree. most feared and most talented hitter in the world. He makes a pitcher work so hard and other hitters get weaker pitching. There you go. I like it. There's a difference, though. Again, what I think, you're 100% accurate, AC. He makes the players around him better. And I don't know that Cal Raleigh does or doesn't. And this is a aberration. Maybe it's just him taking it to the next level. But if the Mariners make the playoffs, Raleigh, and the problem is Judge, because of injuries, hasn't really contributed in the field a lot the last month, obviously. But Cal Raleigh's maybe the best defensive catcher in baseball, too, and that counts for something, too. When good defensive catchers have this types of years, they win MVPs. I'm thinking like a voter, not necessarily what I think it should be. Because the best player in baseball, and by the way, the MVP for this particular season, the best player in baseball is Aaron Judge, to AC's point. Charlie White's best example ever. Well, maybe not ever, but it's a good one. That's all right. I'll take tanks. We like to play like tanks. Given Corbin Carroll's underperforming year, 2 years in a row, by the way, because of his .255 batting average, people may have missed that he's got 30 home runs and gone 28-6. I've missed it because he sucks. Every time I play him, he freaking goes over 4. I was kidding. He's had a good year. Your show's the future of mainstream entertainment. Great. So I got another full-time gig now. When this thing really takes off and I am the blueprint for future entertainment, I got to work full-time again. They better pay me Joe Rogan money. That's all I can tell you. You wrap it up here in about 7 minutes, guys. Joe Rogan indeed has nothing. Thank you. I don't know about that. Thank you for allowing this fun. I have a great time. This format, seriously, thank you. Look sometimes we attack serious stuff, right? I like to attack serious stuff in a fun way, even. You're going to get the true me all the time. I told Michael this, and he sent me a nice compliment when I said this. You're always going to get me. And sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad, right? I speak from the heart. My comments at the top of the show about how I felt about social media this week, disgusting. That's me. But I also like to make light of a lot of things. I'm not making light of this situation. It's tragic. I'll find something to make me laugh later, but not right now. But thank you, guys. I want to thank you, Michael, and AC and Drew and Michael. I'm sorry, Michael Gott, Danny, Chris, Billy, Rick. I'm going to forget people. Don't take offense. I'm trying to think of people off the top of my head, and my mind doesn't work that fast anymore. You guys make this show specifically go, and I love it. Bruins and Rangers will be fighting for a lottery pick. There you go. That tells you all I need to know. Should be a great season for us. Maybe we'll have a little wager. Who loses more? If I'm the Yankees, I would pay Schwarber whatever you wanted. Why, Michael? Where are we going to play him? You can't do it as long as you got Stanton. Now, and again, I would dump Stanton. He's had a good year. There's no place to play him. You can't play him in that outfield, I don't think. I got to think about it, all right? I'm not giving Carl Schwarber whatever he wants, right? I mean, there's still some holes to fill on this team outside of left-handed power hitter. For instance, Corey Bellinger's got to get re-signed and brought back. Job one, Corey Bellinger. We'll talk more about free agents. Once the season's over, too, we'll get Drew on the MLB update. We'll do a little recap from where our picks were. Marcus Freeman is legit. I think he's a good coach. A good coach. Right now, he's a good coach. Listen, I have talked him up for 5 years. I jumped off his bandwagon for a little bit last year after the Northern Illinois loss, and I was just beside myself. I also had a bet that would have earned me $7,500 if they'd won the national championship. And I thought their season was done. It wasn't. He's recovered from several situations at Notre Dame that other coaches would have folded and have folded at Notre Dame. He's underrated. And I agree. Skeen still has an ERA below 2. Shame he's with the Pirates for now. Scooble seems to be okay, they say, Drew. We'll see. They're the best 2 pitchers in baseball, though. Tigers' playoff hopes hinge on Scobel being healthy, for sure. Bethune-Cookman was so beat by Miami, they went to court to file papers to lose their surname. But they got paid well for coming and getting their asses kicked. Colorado's ERA is... Let's get into the 6s, shall we? Rangers lead at 3.41. Thanks for the broadcast. Have a great week, Drew. You too, buddy. We had a great time away in Manchester. Drew, we went to some of your places. I know you're upset. I got to the Pinball Museum. It's really cool. You got to go there. You can go there and pay $27 and play all day. All day, as long as you want. Your wife might not like that, but, you know, it's really cool. They got machines going back to, I think, the 40s. Maybe it was the 30s. It was really cool. Mulligan's was really good. That's where we ate. And a lot of places closed. A lot of restaurants closed. You'd be shocked about what restaurants are closed. But we had a lot of fun. So thank you for your suggestions. We went up to Skyline, which I talked to you about. Hildene was great. We had a lot of fun. Dodgers will take Schwarber. It's probably that. My bet would be the Dodgers, Danny, by the way. What do you got here? We're going to end it here. Going forward, we need to take security of our own hands. Again, the world's a dangerous place, guys. There's a lot of dangerous people out there. This is a lone wolf thing, man. And there's crazy people. You can't fix crazy. You just can't. And you can't jump to conclusions about people and things. And I have to tell you, I'm going to wrap it up with Charlie Kirk. I did see the full video from several angles, and it's disturbing. But I really think everybody should watch it to understand that was a human life I watched snuffed out right in front of me. He was dead when he hit the floor. But it's a human being. Disagree, guys. We can disagree. We all disagree. I don't want to do harm to anybody. I disagree with people about sports and politics and the way my freaking lawn gets cut. But we all have to love one another, man. Come on. It's not that hard. Turn the other page. Change the channel. Scroll further on your social media. You can find plenty of people that agree with you. Hell, I don't agree with everything people of my persuasion think. We're all different. We can all get along. And with that, Danny, you have a great Sunday as well. And we're going to say toodles. Enjoy the football. Take 12 hours today and just forget about the rest of the world and enjoy what's out there. It's a lot of fun. Thanks, Mark. Good to have you with us today, Mark, for another Amsterdamite. Heading up your way in a little bit to watch some football at Creekside. And, guys, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Mac and Keith's weekend playbook. We'll check you out then. We'll be back here next Sunday as well. College football huddle and all that nonsense during the week. We'll watch for the announcements. Be with you. Bye-bye.